All right, Rich, here we go. Episode 49 of By the Numbers.
49.
Yeah, 49. We got one more left after
More.
this. What are we going to talk about tonight?
We got a mixed bag of movies this week. We got Family Switch. We got Wonka. We got Thriller 40. We got the Weird Al Yankovic movie. And we got Candy Cane Lane for our Christmas movie.
Nice. Yeah, it was definitely a hodgepodge, a couple of Christmas movies in there. But yeah, let's get to the end. We have a special guest tonight.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I hope you guys are ready for this because he's a glutton for punishment. He keeps coming back. Yeah. But we're going to introduce him in just a second. But let's go with the intro and get things rolling. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us as the Faces for Radio podcast presents By the Numbers, where we take new releases, we review them, and like them or hate them, we let you know what we thought. I am your host, David, a.k.a. the 4K Lowdown, and my co-host is...
Rich, a.k.a. Turner Fan 77.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for moving in. We had to move the day.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling good. My son's not feeling good.
Yeah, and I have to say, we're still not 100%.
No.
I got hit with a terrible migraine last night, and it is still hanging around. So I apologize in advance that we're not 100%, but who is almost 100%, and I think between the three of us, I think we add up to 100%, is our guest. So let's bring him out. Welcome back, everybody, to Corey Wilkie's Movies and Music. How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing great.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome.
Man,
I'm glad you were saying well, you said I'm the glutton for punishment. I don't know about that. You guys might be the ones gluttons for punishment.
Oh no,
letting me come back on
this
here.
week's movies, man. I apologize to you.
I was going to say I'm going to talk to you about those in just a minute.
We're gonna have a talk now. Now we did have a couple of guys that jumped on last night, and I apologize. I want to say hey to Jay and to Chris because they came on last night. And thought that we were still doing the show, and I apologize, guys. We had to postpone, but I want to thank you guys for at least, shoot, I'm a day early, and me too. And Jay is back. What's up, Jay?
Thank
you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. And we got Holland.
What's up, Holland?
My good buddy Holland Oates is in the house. I appreciate you being here. What else we got? Oh, Spicy's in the house.
Spicy.
Hey, Reed.
What's up, Reed? Thank you so much for being here. Yes, I hate migraines too. I am really tempted to turn my light off, but it's
do it.
Well, if I do, then it'll just be green.
It's okay. It's the holidays, man.
It's the mood on.
Getting the festive.
Dave After Dark.
Dave After Dark. Well, then it'll have to be red.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, everybody's saying hey to everybody. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. So, as it is, we have 5 movies that we're looking at. Steve is early tonight. What is up, Steve?
Hey, Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Man, I appreciate that. Usually he shows up right in the middle. Right in the middle or right at the end.
He does.
Glad you're here, Steve.
We appreciate you no matter when you show up.
Yeah, we appreciate you no matter when. And we also appreciate anybody who watches us on the replay. Because we talked about it backstage. Sometimes we can't make it to every show. Sometimes we can't watch every live stream, but we love your support no matter what. So if you can jump on at any time, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channels and to Corey's because his stuff is in the description. Guys, check his channel. He's already hit 100 subscribers. Congratulations, Corey. I said before the show that we're really proud of what you've accomplished in just a short time and love your live streams. So, and so it's a pleasure having you back on the show. It
absolutely thank you. It's a pleasure to be back on. I really do appreciate it. I had a blast last time, so I really appreciate you letting me come back on again.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I mean, so here are the 5 movies. And you know, were there any pleasant surprises? Now, I don't want to give a name right off the bat, but was there a pleasant surprise that you didn't think you would like, but you turned out to like?
Yes.
Okay. And for me too. There was actually, I was like, I don't understand why I liked that. I don't get it. There was one that I was like, I was really surprised. I thought I was going to absolutely hate, and I didn't. And so
I bet you we're not talking about the same movie.
I don't know. I don't think we're talking about the same movie, bro.
It'll be funny. We'll all have a different one.
We'll all have a different one that we were surprised about. All right, so we're gonna play the surprise game. So I'm gonna surprise you guys with our movies, but basically what we have is 5 movies. We've watched them, we reviewed them, and I did the average score for the 3 of us and ranked them from 5 to 1. So we are going to start with our lowest scored movie between the 3 of us. May not, I think it's the lowest scored for all of us, but one of the lowest scores for sure. Do you guys want to predict or just be surprised? Because I was just going to surprise you guys.
Surprised, but I was going to say beforehand, I did not add them up this time. I didn't go through and add up my last time. I did add up all my scores, and you said, well, usually Rich likes to be surprised. So this time I was like, I'm not going to add them up. I'm going to, so I'm ready for the surprise.
Okay. Well, I don't think this one's going to come as too much of a surprise, but our number 5 movie this week is.
I'm going to show you guys something. And when I show you what I'm going to show you, don't freak out. I can explain.
Okay, actually, I was surprised.
You were surprised by that?
Actually, I was. I was going to guess a different one.
Okay. So
I hated this
Candy Cane Lane, he did not like this movie.
I hated this movie.
So Candy Cane Lane comes in 5th place this week, and this is it's on Prime, and it's Eddie Murphy's paycheck to do a Christmas movie. Oh, good try, Jay, but no. Yep.
I don't like this version of Eddie Murphy. I want the offensive. I don't want the
you want the raw and delirious.
You don't want the family man with the.
No. I want delirious Eddie Murphy. I want raw. I don't want this dude.
I want some ice cream. You want that one? I get it. So Candy Cane Lane, you guys, and yeah, it wasn't very good. So the synopsis reads: a man is determined to win the neighborhood's annual Christmas decorating contest. He makes a pact with an elf to help him win, and the elf casts a spell that brings the 12 days of Christmas to life, which brings unexpected chaos to the town. That was a whole lot of words, and basically exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So interesting cast for me. There's a lot of comedians that
they're not funny,
riding the coattails of Eddie Murphy. And it really just looked like a paycheck for these guys. It didn't, there wasn't that funny. I think my favorite character in the movie was, he was one of the dolls, and darn it. Chris Redd. He was my favorite character in the movie because it looked like he was actually ad-libbing.
My favorite was the elf.
Nick Offerman is in it with a horrible English accent. You've got the kids were okay, but they weren't very good. The neighbors were horrible. The elf, I like
her.
I like her, but she didn't. Jillian Bell. I almost said Kristen.
I know her
Bell.
face. She's got that voice.
Jillian Bell, and usually she's really funny to me, but I found her just kind of flat.
Mhm.
But that sums up the whole movie.
It is. The movie was flat. It was like Coke that you leave out overnight. But so Corey, what were your thoughts on this? What was it? Was there anything that you liked? Because I did have a couple things that I liked, but let me get to you first. What did you?
I think you guys are hitting a lot of things that I was thinking too, where there was so many faces I was recognizing. And I would have thought more comedy out of a lot of them that I was recognizing, and there wasn't. You know, like you talk about Nick Offerman, and like I don't know, there were so many of them. Like, wow, that just fell flat. Like they could have done so much more with some of the people that were in it, and it just seemed like a waste on some of them. I was like, I don't know what they could have done, but just I didn't even realize it was him at first with the voice, and then when but anyway, later when I figured out it was him, I was like, wow, that I would not even have guessed. But
yeah, no, I agree with that. It caught me off guard at first. I wasn't sure who that was, but I knew the British accent was fake.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, yeah, but once it happened, once he Pinocchio'd, I was like, okay, I know exactly who this is. But even going to Ken Marino as the neighbor, I usually think he's pretty funny, but he was just the bitchy neighbor but the whole thing with the contest and all that and oh my God, Santa, come on.
Yeah,
that was a surprise. I can't say that was a pleasant surprise, but it surprised me as to who Santa was.
I take it back. My favorite character was the news anchors. They were the best part for me.
That was funny. What's up, Jeff? Saying hey to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Coming in.
I did.
I did like the news anchors, and then the whole thing with the contest and what it really was.
Yeah,
it wasn't money. I was like, okay, that was funny. But one thing I did like, although it was kind of misplaced, was I liked the music here. I did like the soundtrack. I liked some of the songs that they did. And I thought that was kind of a surprise. Speaking of surprises,
what's up, Mega Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Appreciate you being here, brother.
I also thought it was like a huge Jeep placement ad. It's like everybody was driving a Jeep and
I bet you they had a little hand in the budget.
They had to have.
Yeah, Jeep was like, "Yeah, we'll give you all the cars. You just and nobody else.
Make sure to show the logo.
You show the logo for every car." And that's funny. But the literal 12 Days of Christmas, and that if you've seen the trailer, this god awful ornament that he decides to get and causes him to sell his soul or whatever. But yeah, there were a couple, like I said, there was a couple things that I liked. I didn't laugh at all. And
except for the news anchors, they made
the news. And how serious the guy was and how crazy the girl was. And the girl is from Ghosts, so I remembered her. But it was still kind of like, okay, that's kind of silly. And then I ended up rolling my eyes. But yeah, Chris Redd was the one. I chuckled a little bit when he was flirting with the wife. That was the
lighter, the guy, the torch.
Yeah, when he lit the tree on fire. Yeah, the guy with the torch. Yeah, he was the one that was my favorite character in the movie. But ultimately, I personally can't recommend this. It's not. It's not very good. I gave it a higher score than I thought I would, and that's mainly for the cast and the music. Was kind of where I was.
What I gave it. Oh yeah, I did score very well.
You did not give it a very good score for the music, but
I didn't know.
But yeah, let's go to our highlights. Or what'd you say, Rich?
I'm not a Christmas person.
Oh no, that's true. We found that out with KB's thing on Monday. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that, I did a special holiday high five with KB Loves Movies. That was awesome. KB, thank you again so much for being a part of the show. I'm really sorry that Rich couldn't make it, but we had to get it out of the way because we were coming close to the wire as far as doing holiday movies. So, but KB was a good sport, and it was really awesome having him on the show, and it was long overdue. I needed to bring him on.
Guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to our highlights for Candy Cane Lane and get this one off the table. So Corey, your highest is the cast with a 7, and then you have 6s for cinematography and music. Rich, you have a 10 for cast, and then 3s and 4s and 5s for everything else. So yeah, you didn't like it. I gave a 10 for cast, a 7 for cinematography, and an 8 for music, but everything else was kind of 3s and 4s. So yeah, just stay away. I mean, if you're desperate for a holiday movie, for a Christmas movie on Prime or Netflix or something, then
if this isn't it, find something else.
This isn't it. You should probably just look elsewhere. Anyway.
There's other ones.
But let's go to our final scores on Candy Cane Lane, coming in 5th place this week. IMDb is giving this a 5.6. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 45%, audience score 46%. Rich, you gave it a 45. I gave it a 53. Corey gave it a 43 for an average score of 47.
I was even lower than Rich.
The cast.
You were lower.
Yeah.
Cast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you guys have been pretty close to the same. Okay. So, coming in at number 4, and Jay hit it on the head. But let's take a look at our number 4 movie this week.
CT. Mom? Wyatt?
Dad.
That has never happened before.
I'm 17 again.
I'm 13 going on 30.
It's so freaky.
What's wrong with Pickles?
What's going on with Miles?
Pickles is Miles.
What's my age again?
This is the one I thought was going to be the bottom one.
And it's actually closer than we. It could have been, but it's Speaking of closer,
what's up?
Hey guy.
Yeah. Oh, they were watching Weird. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I apologize. Apologize for you watching Weird. But yeah, everybody's saying, "Hey, Miss Caveman is here. What's up, Miss Caveman?" You can say you were close.
This movie's not good.
No,
but I still had fun watching it.
I did too. I laughed. I actually belly laughed on this thing. And I think it's I guess the familiarity of the family, the parents and the kids and stuff, but it's so dumb.
It is.
Yes.
It's so dumb. It's Freaky Friday with an entire family.
Yeah.
And why the kid switching with the dog, that makes no damn sense.
Yeah.
But
watching the babysitter take care of it.
Yeah.
Watching the baby, I guess a dog trainer take care of the baby, and then I don't know. And they were like, they didn't get along, so why would you have the baby and the dog be babysat by this thing?
I was going to say this right here. This comment.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That whole part of this totally unique situation that's never happened ever before.
Never happened before, yeah. And that was why I put that in there, because I was like, oh, I'm 17 again. Oh, I'm 13 going on 30. Oh, it's freaky. They were just referencing all those movies. And I was like, okay, that made me chuckle a little.
Jennifer Garner, I like Jennifer Garner. She's a great actress.
Yeah.
But no one talks about Alias anymore. That show was fantastic.
I loved Alias. That's a great one.
Yeah, man. I wish she did that movie Peppermint. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, Peppermint.
I wish she would do more roles like that.
Yeah, it was like as soon as she got divorced, she did that Peppermint, and I was like, great, we got the action star back. And then since then, it's been family movies and rom-coms and stuff.
I wonder if that has to do with her religion. So I know she found religion.
Yeah, I think so, because these are mainly, I don't want to say evangelistic, but these are mainly Christian based stuff. What's up, Alan? Good to see you, my friend.
But
And
even
Rob,
Peppermint wasn't like too far off. I mean, it wasn't like super gritty and dirty, but it's,
Right.
I liked seeing her in that. I know it wasn't like a huge hit, but I liked her in that role.
I did too. That movie was great.
Yeah, I liked it. We were comparing Peppermint to Silent Night
Mm-hmm.
and going, I wish that Silent Night was more like Peppermint
Yeah, I could see it.
in the way that they the storylined it and the way they played it out.
Yeah.
And Chris, thank you so much, brother. Please
Chris.
flash the like. And I hear Miles. I got you. Go ahead. Yeah, isn't she supposed to be reprising Elektra? I don't know. I hope so. Wife and I enjoyed Candy Cane Lane. Okay, haven't seen Family Switch yet. That's good, Alan. I mean, Candy Cane Lane was like, I was like, okay, but yeah, I couldn't recommend it, but there were a couple things that I liked about it. Yeah, awesome chat. This is a great group, and Tiana's here. Speaking of great,
Hey, Tiana.
so good. I love how everybody just says hi to everybody when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Exactly.
Kind of like Candy Cane. It was nice to see a different Christmas storyline. I can agree with that. I did like the storyline a little bit. It just, I don't know, it fell flat for me, but you know what? It's not horrible. It's not the worst Christmas movie I've seen. That
It's
would
right up there with Elf.
I was gonna say that'd be a White Christmas for me, but I did give it a good score though. But yeah, there's just too much music in that, too much singing. Yeah, look at this. Everybody saying hey to everybody. Yeah, love the turnout tonight, Chris. Okay, so we're back to Family Switch, and again, I'm like, okay, Rita Moreno is in this, and I was like, I love her too, because we saw her in 80 for Brady, and it was like, okay. But yeah, and then of course she did Fast X, so she's been doing some movies recently.
And she's in both movies you're avoiding that I'm going to get you to watch, and that's both West Side Stories.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna change the subject. So let's read the synopsis on Family Switch. So it says, when a chance encounter with an astrological reader causes the walkers to wake up to a full body switch, can they unite to land a promotion, college interview, record deal, and soccer tryout? So nope. Okay. So he hasn't watched that yet. So anyway, the one thing that really bugged me about this movie was the kids were epic, like going to be soccer star and like talking to Elon Musk and stuff and doing consultation. Like one was a super brain and the other one's like a super athlete, and I'm like, and their parents are normal.
Yeah.
Well, the dad, you come to find out that there's more to the dad.
There's more to both of them, but they were both like trying to be helicopter parents and doing the stuff. But yeah, it was just why did the kids have to be that level? That put a sour taste in my mouth a little bit. Because I mean, I have some great kids, but there's no way my kids would be soccer stars or anything, and that doesn't mean I would love them any less. But it was just really weird to have them excel in that
at that level,
and then deal with the switch.
Everything works out just perfect.
And then of course everything works out perfect. It's a family film. Yep. So K-Man says Family Switch. I was worried we were going to get a Naughty America video with mom and dad becoming son and daughter and strange dance scene. Well, there was a strange dance scene. Everyone keeps popping in. Hi, everyone again. Yes, Jay say I'm trying to say hi to everyone as they're coming in. Speaking of which, okay, Orbit got us. Okay. Movie Hunter is in the house. What's up, Movie Hunter?
What's up?
Yeah, just keep saying hi to everybody, Jay, and I'll keep bringing them on and saying hey. But look at this crowd. We got 23 live right now.
Thank you, guys.
23 online.
Where
I
are we
really
at with likes? Everybody hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button.
like button. Let's go. I want to see. Well, I would love to see at least 18 likes.
That'd be awesome.
Let's get there. I would absolutely love that. But yeah, you guys. So Corey, was there anything about this movie? Did you feel the same way we did, where even though it wasn't good, we still kind of enjoyed it, or were there any like really big negatives that kind of turned you off to this?
I honestly, and like I said, this time I purposely didn't add up my scores. So I honestly was surprised. I thought if I was just going and guessing, if we would have guessed for the first one, this is what I would have guessed would have been the bottom one. So apparently I might have scored it higher than Candy Cane Lane, but I didn't realize it. I didn't add up the scores, but there was so many, and maybe, I said this on last time too. Sometimes maybe I just was not in the right mood to watch it, but it was sometimes just so over the top goofy that I was just kind of cringing a little bit with spots where I was like, you said, where the kids were like, they're not just like good kids. Like one's a freshman that's interviewing with Yale or whatever, and then, or Harvard.
They were like,
and the other one's going to be trying out for national soccer team. And, and there's like little bits where like the son is coming into the high school and he's the nerdy kid that gets picked on. And they start playing like the Mission Impossible theme, and he's like climbing up lockers and doing weird stuff. And I'm like, it was just, some things were just so over the top that I just was like, I just wasn't in the right mindset to watch that. So I just found myself going like, it's cheesy. I don't know, but
I
the father-son talks too.
Yeah,
I thought weren't that great.
I did find myself rolling my eyes.
Yeah,
for quite a few parts where I was just like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I felt like I was doing that a lot.
You know what's going to happen. You know the mother's lactose intolerant and something's going to happen.
Yep,
and
they can't bring it home.
I do like my poo scenes in a comedy, so I got a little bit out of that.
I don't get that, man. I get that.
I don't know either. My 5-year-old brain's like, hee. When I see that stuff, it just cracks me up. I can't. I don't know what it is.
That's funny.
I honestly don't know what it is. It just, oh man, I wish I had that sound. I had a little like a giggle sound pop, and I don't have it now. Poo scenes.
Exactly.
Yeah, Movie Hunter, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. But yeah, we are sitting at 9 likes right now, you guys. So if you
come on, we can do better than that.
Jump in there and just hit the like button. It's not going to hurt you. It doesn't bite. Just give it a, put that thumb on there. I appreciate that.
I heard for tonight only they're free. So get in there while it's free. So it's still free to do the like button. So make sure
special Christmas sale.
Get your free like in while you can.
Get your free like in. We absolutely. Ouch! I got. All right. So. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't well made. It's not a good movie, but I did find myself laughing out loud with some of the stuff, because I think it's the familiarity of having the kids and trying to imagine what it would be like in their shoes as an adult and having them in my shoes. And it just, that kind of stuff just cracked me up. But fart humor will always be funny. That is right. That is right.
I was going to say, like, to balance out me kind of being negative about the goofiness of it, I would say I probably scored it a little higher on the cinematography and the music. Like, I thought it looked good, even though there was the goofy scenes. I don't know. I mean, it looked like a well shot movie. I mean, I don't know. There was some positives. I could see where somebody would enjoy it.
Was fantastic.
Yeah, the music was good.
Yeah, I like the soundtrack. The music here was good, and it was a good variety of music, different genres and different stuff going on. But I will tell you, Corey, that you did give this a lower score than Candy Cane Lane.
Okay, I figured that's what I would have guessed.
It's just that Rich and I were a little bit higher, so the average comes out to be a little bit higher as a total. But you did give this a little bit of a lower score. Ouch, dang it, I got stung by a Californian scorpion. Yeah, that's okay. I've been stung twice this year by those, so that's not a big deal. All right, let's go to our highlights for Family Switch. Coming in fourth place, you guys. So Corey, again, 7 for cast is your highest, and then you have a 6 for cinematography and a 6 for music. And then the rest of them, aside from a 2 for the plot, so you did not like the trailer. You were like, nope, I'm not in for this. And then a lot of 3s going on. So I totally get it. Rich, you actually gave a 10 to the cast and a 10 to music. And then the rest of them are 5s and 6s with a 7 for acting. I gave a 10 for the cast and then a 7 for the music, and then a couple of 6s for acting, direction, and wild card. Ultimately, it's a comedy, and I'm not going to recommend you go out and run and watch this, but it was okay. It made me chuckle. If you're desperate for something and you're looking for something specific on Netflix, because they generally don't have very good stuff, this was okay. I'm not going to recommend it, but if you're bored and you're looking for a family comedy and you don't mind them copying every single Body Switch movie ever, then it's okay. Then I say go ahead and watch it. But
Yeah, I agree with everything.
Or do you like, yeah, take it or leave it?
I was just agreeing with everything you said. If you're bored, put it on. If you're wrapping presents for Christmas, put this on.
Yeah.
This is a good movie to wrap presents to. You don't really have to focus on it because there's not much there.
That's the funny thing. I came down to the trailer of this, or not the trailer, but the title, the end credits coming up. My daughter and my wife were downstairs wrapping presents. And I'm like, what are you guys watching? And they told me, I'm like, that's one of them I need to watch for this thing. And this is what it could have been, a movie we could have watched together. And they had so it was funny. They were actually wrapping presents while they watched it. And they enjoyed it. You know, it's lighthearted, non-offensive fun. You know, it's.
Yeah. How old is your daughter?
17.
Oh, see, mom, daughter, wrapping presents.
Yep.
You're right. This is the perfect movie for that.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, Garrett?
What's up?
Hey, Garrett.
You brother. I appreciate it. Happy holidays to you. Happy Radmas, as I've been saying to you on your channel. But yeah, no, Garrett and I apparently have the same house because we took pictures of our movie shelves and it looks identical. So even the movies that were on it were the same. So it was really weird. But yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, you guys definitely check out Born to Be Rad. If you haven't already, awesome show. He's got all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah.
He's a total 80s dude, former pro wrestler, just like me. And I absolutely love that guy. So
I didn't know that about him. Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. And the whole Rad Pack's cool. You know, him, Justin, and Mel. They're all awesome.
Mel,
yeah.
Awesome. We've had Mel on the show.
Yep.
For a high five. She's awesome. Haven't had Justin yet. Haven't had Garrett yet. So maybe one of these days we'll collab Garrett and we'll get you on the show.
What's up, Cal?
Got Corey.
Hey, Cal. Yeah, they drew the short straw. And they got me.
We suffered. I mean, we talked him into it. But yeah, no, he was like, "Oh, I'm ready to come back." Already? Cool. But yeah, haven't had you either, Cal. You are invited. If you, like I said, you look at our schedule, see what movies we have up. If you are willing to watch everything on that list, then we'll get you on the show. So and that goes for anybody here. Yeah. When we do our by the numbers, if you see, because we do just new releases, if you see a set of movies that you want to watch and review with us, you are more than welcome to join us. Also, we have our High Five series, which we now have themed. So on the Faces for Radio channel, you guys, we have our first 6 months of High Five themes set up. So if you see one that doesn't have a name on it and you want to be a part of that show, you are absolutely welcome to hit us up either on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Just reach out to us, either TurnerFan77 or myself, and say, hey, I'd like to be on the High Five for this month, and we'll set you up.
Got some good themes.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I like the theme idea. It's going to be interesting. Instead of saying, hey, just pick any 5 movies, we're saying, okay, focus on this one. I'm a hesitant on my month because I'm doing February, but
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm gonna do it, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, somebody recommended to me that I have Rich do a high five with me as the guest.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that in February, you guys, and we're going to do romance movies. So I'm gonna pick 5 romance movies, and I am not a romance person.
And Debbie Does Dallas doesn't count.
Debbie Does Dallas doesn't count. I already asked.
I'm sure they all loved each other. It's okay.
There was love. There had to have been some kind of love, right? Some kind of affection. But anyway, let's go to our final scores on Family Switch, coming in 4th place, you guys. IMDb is giving this a 5.6. That's Deja Vu. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 44%, audience score 45%. Rich gave it a 62. I gave it a 58, and Corey gave it a 40 for an average score of 53.33.
Look at me being the Grinch.
I know. Look at you slapping that one down.
Actually, it
I
wasn't
wonder
too.
if you would have enjoyed it more if you watched it with your wife and
I bet you anything I would have. I know for a fact if I would have been with them and this is not a knock or like a negative, but they have more fun with those types of movies than I usually do. But being around them, and if they would have been wrapping presents, I would have been with them and then laughing and having a good time with it.
Yeah.
I bet you for a fact I would have been probably higher on that score. That can affected it definitely.
I bet it does.
Yeah, I watched this one with my wife, and we had a good time.
Yeah,
we chuckled a little bit. We had a good time. So yeah, I think it would be better with family watching it.
I agree.
Definitely more fun. All right, so let's go to our number 3 movie for this week. And this is an interesting one. Before I do that, Tiana's saying hi to everybody. So I want to bring that up. All right, so let's take a look at our number 3 movie this week.
To make up new words to a song that already exists.
Oh, well, you should do that then.
Who my little hungry one? Hungry one. Open up a package of my banana.
Dude, I've got chills.
So
movie.
So weird. The
Terrible.
Al Yankovic story comes in 3rd place, you guys. And okay, I really like this.
But all film is subjective.
All film is subjective.
That's true. That's true.
So, but I mean, I knew what was going to happen coming in. I mean, I am a big Weird Al Yankovic fan from way back. So for him to do this movie and make it a parody on himself and make it a parody on these biopic music movies was hilarious. I was rolling. I absolutely loved it. Rich absolutely hated it, so I'm going to take it to Rich. Rich, what was was up with this? What did you like and not like?
I fucking hated everything about it. I didn't know Weird Al made this movie. When I went to watch it, I thought I was gonna get a Weird Al. I like Weird Al, but I'm not a fan of Weird Al, if that makes sense. I appreciate his art that he does, but I thought it was gonna be a straight up biopic, and I was like, then it got stupid. Then Madonna came in. Well, then I don't know, man. Just awful. The acting was terrible.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, I had to stop it a couple times just fucking to finish it. Yeah,
That's when you know you really love the movie, when you got to stop it.
See, Miss Caveman liked it. Dare to be stupid. I thought that almost said Dave to be stupid, which would have been right too. Subtle humor, a few LOL moments, and what a great cast.
The whole disc thing, I was like, killing me, man.
Yep.
But okay, have you ever seen UHF? Did you see Weird Al Yankovic's movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, there was a lot of tie-ins to that.
Mm-hmm.
With him with the gun and all that. That was totally UHF. He totally did that. He dressed up like Stallone with shirtless, and he was all I was shooting everybody, and dude, I loved it. I enjoyed the movie. Big fan of Weird Al. See, me too. But I totally get it. I love Weird Al. You used to listen to him late night radio. Yeah, Dr. Demento discovered him, and played by Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson was Dr. Demento, but what really cracked me up was all these other comedians portraying different people. Conan O'Brien was Andy Warhol, and Dimitri Martin was Tiny Tim, and I was rolling. But yes, the acting is horrendous, but
somehow I knew you were gonna like this movie. I knew
you knew I was gonna like this movie, but this is Weird Al chance to win an Oscar Mayer Award. Okay,
Razzie.
Love to listen to Dr. Yeah, see, I love Dr. Demento. See, thanks, Rob. UHF rules. UHF with Michael Richards. But just the king of parodies. His biography couldn't. So, but it's so funny, and I think I did it. Okay, so the guy on the right is Weird Al in this movie.
Yep.
And then of course you got Will Forte, who's the other dude. But so many comedians in this movie. And Rachel Lee Cook is playing Madonna, and I was watching the special features after the Blu-ray because I was like, I want to see the making of, I want to see all this kind of stuff because I was really intrigued on how they did it. And it was, Rachel Lee Cook was like, I didn't know a lot about Madonna. So I was like, how did you not know about Madonna? That was kind of surprising. But Corey, what are your thoughts on this movie? Because I saw your scores. I'd like to get your thoughts on this.
I was a little disappointed with it, but I think some of it that leading into it, I knew some people that had seen it when it first came out on the Roku channel. So like it's been out for a while. I just never had seen it. And I think I had higher expectations leading into it. And that is sometimes a recipe for a bad recipe. When you got I had a bar set up in my mind because I've heard some people that I knew that watched it were like, oh, it's hilarious. It's so funny. So I knew it was a parody biopic going into it. So I knew what to expect there, but I think I just had the bar set so high from what some other people had said that I felt let down when I watched it.
But that's only human though, because we all have expectations going into movies, no matter what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so after seeing this, I can totally see Daniel Radcliffe playing Logan.
People wanted to cast him as the new Wolverine.
I'm guessing you because he was shirtless and pasty, but
I don't think he's a very good actor.
No, I don't think he's a very good actor either. And I don't know.
I liked him in that movie with the guns.
The whole thing
Guns Akimbo
was like Guns Akimbo. I liked.
That was kind of funny. I thought
I really enjoyed that. But the whole thing with Madonna was, I love the whole thing with Eat It.
Where they switched
that's totally my original song, and then Michael Jackson parodied it with Beat It. And I thought that was hilarious.
And then he played the artist being upset that somebody is parodying his song, and kind of switching the roles around. So I thought that was kind of funny too.
Right.
Did he get permission from Michael Jackson to do it?
Yeah. Michael Jackson wanted him to do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Michael Jackson asked him to do it.
But I think he had some other ones that the record label okayed it and the artist was not okay with it. And so I think he was playing on that a little bit where he had some heated moments with, I think, some of the artists. Maybe not Michael Jackson, but
Madonna. Yeah, one of them was Madonna. Madonna did not want him to do like a surgeon. But something with the record label, and they got away with it for some reason. I don't know. I remember what the deal was, but I remember Madonna was getting ready to sue him. She wanted to sue him, and the record label goes, nope, you can't, because we've got this clause. And she's like, dang it. So I think that might have been and then I love the fake pictures at the end with him with Madonna. Totally. It was like very Forrest Gump trying to be. So read the synopsis, because not that you guys don't already know about this, but it says explores every facet of Yankovic's life from his meteoric rise to fame, with early hits like Eat It and Like a Surgeon to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle. And the one thing that he says in the interview that I watched in the special features was that you can't do a biopic movie about an artist who didn't have a torrid life. And he really just kind of led a normal life. He didn't, he wasn't on drugs or alcohol or anything like that. But in order to do the parody and do this movie, he had to make it like he had it. Woman in Black, Radcliffe. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't like that movie either.
I mean, I was okay with Woman in Black, but it wasn't until I watched the special features that I liked it more because I didn't understand what was going on. But Radcliffe just looked like Harry Potter to me and he acted like Harry Potter to me in Woman in Black. Have I seen him in Tusk? No, I did not watch Tusk. I was not interested in that.
Harry Potter's in Tusk.
I thought that was Justin Long. I don't think that was
Justin Long. Daniel
Radcliffe wasn't in Tusk, right? Or was he?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Johnny Depp is in Tusk. Justin Long. Yeah, there's Daniel Radcliffe is in Tusk.
Was he in the movie that he played a dead guy and the guy like carries him around the whole time and turns into buddies with him?
That's the Swiss Army Man or something like that.
Yeah.
That was arguably Daniel Radcliffe's best role. Even though he was dead.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was great in that. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about it, but
he's definitely taken some interesting roles, but maybe that's to shake that image of Harry Potter,
Yeah, no, he's definitely doing that. Where what's her face? Emma Watson was able to shake that off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe was just monikered as Harry Potter, so it was really hard for him to jump off of that. And I don't think he has completely still. I think he's still dealing with it. Because that's all I was thinking of when he was in Now You See Me Too. I was like, oh great, Harry Potter's a
he was in that.
And I couldn't buy it. I can't buy Harry Potter as a bad guy. It just didn't make any sense to me. No, you thought you were wrong once. You're mistaken, but that's okay, Caveman. You're okay. I think you're thinking of Horns, not Tusk. That may be right. That sounds right. It's definitely Horns.
I guess I don't know either one of those.
Weird Al was in one of Michael Jackson's music videos. Yes, he was.
I didn't know that.
Why he wasn't in the documentary, I don't know. But
I was going to say it's kind of fitting that we have these two in the same lineup tonight.
Yeah, right.
There's a definite tie-in, and Weird Al talks about, well, in the movie it's talked about the Yankovic bump, which is actually true. Where when he did a parody off a song, the original song would all of a sudden sell a bunch more records.
Yeah.
And they made a big thing about it in the movie. And I don't know. I enjoyed it. I still think it was kind of a one-time watch for me, but I had a lot of fun with it. And I didn't have too high of expectations for it. And I think that might've been why I liked it. I enjoyed it more than you did, Corey, because I didn't have that high hope.
Yeah.
But I expected it to be stupid, and it was stupid, and I was here for it. So I think it checked the boxes for me. So that's the reason why it's in third place. Otherwise it probably would have been lower. Because of the way I scored it. I scored it higher than I thought I would. But
I'm interested to see where we all land on this one.
Yeah, this is probably the farthest apart we are.
Okay.
Over the whole night. So, but yeah, get Pee Wee Herman and Tiny Tim, and then there was a deleted scene where they introduced him to Charo, and it was super funny. I dug it. It was exactly what I expected and what I wanted. But let's go to our highlights on it. Because Rich is looks like he's about to barf, so we'll get him out of the way. So Corey, your highest is actually a 6. You gave 6s for the cast, the music, and the wild card. And then, I'm sorry, you got an 8 for the plot. So you did like the trailer.
I did want to see it.
Yeah. And me too. I also gave an 8 to the trailer. Rich, you gave a 10 for the cast, and then a 7 for the music, and then basically a lot of 5s and a 1 for the ending. He totally crapped on the ending, bro.
I didn't like it. Not at all.
Not at all. All right. So I gave 10s to the cast and the music. I gave 8s to the plot, the script, and the wild card, and a 7 to direction and a 7 to ending because I liked it. But the acting, I'm with you guys on that. I gave the acting a 4, just like you did, and Corey gave it a 5. So the acting's not good, but I think that was the intention here. Not that they could have done better, but I think they weren't supposed to do better. At least it was your Corona. Yeah. It was my Bologna. So let's go to our final scores. On Weird, the Al Yankovic story coming in 3rd place, you guys. IMDb is giving this a 6.9.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes critics score 84%. Audience score 80%. Rich, you gave it a 48. I gave it a 74. Corey gave it a 56 for a total average score of 59.33.
Wow.
We do have a bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
That's all right, though.
Yeah.
But no,
again,
that's all right.
all film is subjective.
Yep,
All films are
absolutely.
subjective. It was, yeah,
You sometimes get it
it
wrong.
was definitely an acquired taste. If you weren't ready for that, then that was, I mean, if I came in expecting it to be Bohemian Rhapsody, I would have been incredibly disappointed.
See, that's what I
But
like.
But I was expecting a parody. I was expecting a spoof movie, and that it wasn't going to be historically accurate. So
Well,
yeah.
on any given night, you could score it differently, depending on your like one of these I was watching, I purposely stopped it. I just was in a rotten mood, and I was like, I'm not going to watch it right now because I'm just going to trash it no matter what, because I just was not in the mood. And I came back to the next night and had a good time with one of the later ones here. And no, it definitely plays a big part in it.
That's interesting.
Or for me anyway, but
yeah. Miss K-Man wonders if it might be a generational gap.
I liked Weird Al actually as a kid. I remember having cassette
I
tapes of
don't
his.
mind Weird Al. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not my cup of tea.
I just
I think
remember
this
thinking
is
it was funny. I mean,
Speaking
as a
of cup of
kid,
tea,
cup of tea.
but yeah, I don't know if it's a generational gap. I think it was expectations versus execution. And
See, I didn't know nothing about the movie going in. I thought it was going to be a biopic. Oh, cool. Weird Al biopic,
Yeah.
And it was not.
I
No,
could see
it
where
was-
you'd be thrown off. If
and
you
that's where
went
you'd be
into it
like,
that.
no, come on, this is not right. Yeah, that is a huge score grab. Yeah, it's one of our biggest, not our biggest, but I think between you and me, Rich, that was 26 points difference.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun of this is seeing where everybody lands. You
Yeah,
know, I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
And occasionally we're like this to where it's
Yeah.
like, dude, we're polar opposites on something.
And last week we were right on.
Last week, last couple weeks we've been like right on the money with just about every movie. But I figured because I remember when you texted me and you were like, "Oh, this Weird Al Yankovic movie," blah. You were like, "Oof," and I'm like, "Okay." So I watched it. I'm like, "Okay, I liked it." So I know our scores are going to be different. But yeah, I can't say. Getting back to your point about the scores being different in a different occasion where you watch it, I can't say that's true for me so much. Sometimes my score will change, like if I get more acclimated to the movie, where I, like Inception. Probably the first time I watched Inception, I was like, "What the heck was that?" And then after 2 or 3 more times watching it, I was like, "Okay, now I'm really understanding it and I like it." But as a general rule, my view as to how much I like or don't like the movie will change, but the score, not so much. I try to keep that as objective as possible based on the quality of the work. So at least I try.
And see, that's where I'm newer coming into this too. So you've been doing it all, the scoring system like this for a longer, and I think you can probably have a better stance than I can on being
See,
objective.
that's the way I used to be. Corey.
Yeah. I could see that. It takes practice, going through and doing that. And you and Rich have done this so many times. I think that you kind of hone that skill. Yeah. You get it down.
Rich has been really awesome with it, and got to give kudos to Rich, even though I've completely corrupted him as far as movies go.
Yes.
Because he's just sitting there scoring it when he watches the movie. It doesn't matter what it is.
I can say the type of movie that I probably would swing the most on mood about are goofy comedies.
Yep.
So
I agree with that.
Like that is the one I think I'd have the biggest swing depending on how I felt at that moment when I was going in to watch it. Your goofy comedy, so that's where, when we were talking about Family Switch, that one could have been one, or like we were talking about, if you were with your family and they were having fun with it, I could see that swaying my score too. But I'm newer, trying to put numbers to, some of these feelings and categories on it. But.
No, the more you keep coming back. Caveman says you need to get a few graphic t-shirts. So,
so next week we have Maestro, and I'm interested to see Dave's. I've watched it already. I'm interested to see Dave's score on that. And Corey, if you have a chance to watch that next week, pop in the chat. I'm interested to see your thoughts on Maestro.
I'll write that down. I will. I'll check it out.
I'm really interested in what you think, Dave.
What's it on?
Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix. Yeah. I can't say I'm intrigued. I can't say I'm like, I really want to watch it, but I'm intrigued about it.
Yeah.
Not to go back to it, but sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, going back to Guy's comment, I already figured out, I was looking at some of my videos and coming on some of these things. I was like, I'm going to get called out sooner or later. I don't put much money into clothes. So I have 6 shirts, going into winter, I have 5 flannels. And so I was like, I know somebody's going to be like, do you have any other clothes or do you do laundry?
If anything with some kind of design?
Bro, it's Iowa. You got to have.
If you're Iowa boy.
But I was waiting for it.
Maestro's next on Guy's list. So we want to get your view on it too, Caveman. So join us next week when we're going to talk about it. Would your score be different if you knew this movie was a parody, Rich?
I don't think so. No.
No, you still didn't like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it either way.
I could definitely see where you'd be thrown off though, if you were thinking it was a straight. I
he wouldn't have been as surprised about it because it was, it's supposed to be a parody, so I know it's going to be dumb. And then you just watch
like parody movies. I don't like scary movie. I don't. Yeah.
I'm not a scary movie fan either. It's when they parody one movie, then I like it. But if they parodying it, scary movie just parodies everything, every horror movie, and it makes there's no real point to the movie. It's just, let's see how stupid we can be. I don't care for those. So I agree with you on those points. But when you can parody something in a way that makes it seem like it's a regular movie, I'm okay with that. And still be stupid. But all right. Let's go to our number 2 movie this week. So we've got 2 more left. And okay, I was right. I was like, which one was it again? It was this one. So let's take a look at our number 2 movie this week.
So you're the funny little man who's been following me.
Funny little man? How dare you? I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa-land, I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me Lofty.
Sorry.
So our number 2 movie this week, you guys, is Wonka. This is in theaters right now. Stars Timothy Chalamet and Hugh Grant and everybody else in the dog, a whole bunch of other people.
I didn't like this one either.
This was one that I think it's funny. I think the marketing, they were like, we walked out of this. I went and saw this with my wife and daughter, and when we got done with it and walked out, we looked at each other, and I think we almost at the same time was like, I didn't realize that was going to be a musical. Like the way they marketed it, it's like they hit it. And I'm like, maybe US audiences won't go for a straight up if you market it as a musical. I don't know, maybe not, but watching the trailer, I did not pick up that it was going to be, and
Me neither.
It was more than I was. Not saying that's good or bad, but I was kind of like, oh wow, I didn't realize it was going to be more of a musical like that.
I want Dave's thoughts on this.
I'm with you, Reed.
Well, for Spicy's thoughts, Wonka was surprisingly good, had low expectations, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Napoleon is now lofty. Yes, musical. Might not want to see it after all.
I'd wait till it hits streaming. It's
okay. I don't know what happened here, but I liked this. I did not like the singing, and I think it's the nostalgia of the tie-in to the original movie. I think that did it for me, because Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, that is one of my top musicals.
That's a good one.
I think that is a musical too. So I can't say I expected this to be a musical. It did try to hide it. It really circumvented the whole thing, where it was like, oh no, we're just doing the fantasy and the stuff. And I would have liked that better. I mean, the first 2 minutes of the movie, he breaks into song, and I almost walked out of the theater. I'm like, I even got up and walked out for a short time, because the girl was going to break into song. And I literally, I'm sitting, my wife and I are sitting in the chair, and I hate to do this, but I had a real problem, a real bad experience in the theater, because a person sat next to me that I swear weighed at least 400 pounds. And half of his body was on me during the movie.
I pictured it.
There's just the right side of this guy was just like, and I'm like, so I like shimmied my way out and left for a little bit, came back, and then I sat on the other side of my wife because that chair was free.
Did he keep you warm at least?
Well, no, I mean warm and wet maybe, because there was a lot of sweating. So I'm, I mean, I feel sorry for the guy that he had to sit in those little seats, because it wasn't like the recliners that you get at some theaters. This was just the regular movie theater seats. And he walks up, and he had like his whole family with him that took up the rest of the row. And he's standing there, and he knows he's got to sit there. He looks at me and he goes, "Hey, somebody want to switch with me? Because I'm going to kill this guy."
But was the theater packed? Was there not?
It was about halfway. It was about halfway full, but that's assigned seating. So you pay for your ticket, you're assigned your seat. But as soon, I was like, okay, I can't do anything until the movie starts. And then if the seat next to my wife is free, then I'm just going to flip over there. So as soon as I spatulaed my way out, and I had to get the salad spoons out, got me out. I went to the bathroom, rinsed off, wiped the sweat off of me. And then I came back out and I sat on the other side of my wife. And then that was a lot better. But I ended up liking the movie for the nostalgia of tying into the original and I thought it was a good prequel. I thought it was good. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I did have problems with the musical numbers. But I actually think I gave this a higher music score than I thought I would have. And it was mainly the songs that tie into the original movie was the Oompa Loompa song and the Pure Imagination song and that kind of stuff. Those got my nostalgia up, and those I really liked. So all in all, I did think I liked it. I don't know if I'd buy it. I don't think I would. My wife wanted it, but
Timothée Chalamet was great.
Yeah,
he was good. I thought the acting was good in here.
I thought his singing was better than I thought it would be.
The singing was better than
even though I didn't know it was going to be a musical, but when he started singing, I thought he was a competent singer, way better than I could do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. That's not a lofty goal to be a better singer
for me either.
but But I liked Olivia Colman as Mrs. Scrubbit. I thought she was good. I like her. She's a great actress. She did the one movie that takes place in the movie theater that we watched, Rich. Can't
Oh
remember the
yeah,
name.
that's great.
It was so good, and she was so good in it.
Mhm.
But yeah, say even though the original was a musical, I thought it was going to be like the last rendition. Yeah. You thought it was going to be closer to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Looks like Rich had a rough week, and Corey too.
Yeah, it
So,
was rough.
so you're saying there's no need for this film to be done? Well,
But if you want to
Caveman-
see it, I wouldn't pay theater price. I would wait till it hits streaming.
wait,
It'll be
your
on
place
streaming
serves salads?
soon. Oh, sorry.
I wish. No. No moist towelettes, not even a kiss. No, I didn't even get flowers after.
I
The
enjoyed it
original-
more than I thought I was going to. I'll say that.
Me
I'm
too.
gonna make a
That-
prediction right here. This movie Wonka is gonna make more money in its second week than Aquaman's gonna make in its first week
and
this week.
opening week?
Yeah.
I wouldn't laugh
I
at you
wouldn't
for
be
making
surprised.
that statement.
No, I'm not taking that bet. I think
No.
you're probably right on the money. Had quite a few funny moments.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I did. I agree with that. It was better than I thought.
See, I kept looking at my watch. I was like, man, let's get this.
Oh
over
yeah.
All right, can I go? Is it
with.
time to go?
See, I would have never watched this movie. It wasn't for the show. There is no way I would have went and seen it.
I probably would not have gone to the theater to see it. I would have watched it, but I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
have gone to the theater to watch it. But we had fun as part of our.
But see,
family
that's
going
good.
to
You
see
had the
it.
experience.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had fun with your family.
Mhm, Yep.
And that's what movies are for, too.
Right.
Well, this was payment to my wife because she was like, I watched so many horror movies with you in October. You were going to a movie of my choice. And I was like, okay, what do you want to see? She goes, I want to see Wonka. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I presented it to Rich. I'm like, Rich, I'm going to see Wonka. And he was like,
I did have a moment where I almost didn't walk into the theater though, because we went in and right when we were walking up there, starting almost at the same time, just to the right of it, there was another screen that was showing Die Hard. And I was so close to just walking in there. I was almost like, but I got to watch this one.
Wait, there's a character, Mrs. Scrubbit, and David had to scrub it. Yeah, I had to scrub it. It was just all wet on my right side. It was horrible. But I mean, he was a nice enough guy, and it was, we laughed about it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I was very uncomfortable. And I'm like, between the two of them, we should not be sitting next to each other. I mean, I'm 230. That's it was like there's no. I've got to be over here.
Well, and it was different, but I had a seating thing with mine too when we went in. So ours is assigned seating as well. And I purposely went out and I like a particular, you can say I'm picky, whatever, but I like a particular spot in the theater to watch a film.
Yep.
So I get out there and I pick the specific seats that would fit what I want to have. And we went in there and it wasn't super packed, but maybe about half. And we get there and a guy and, they were sitting in our seats and I'm like, oh, sorry, these are our seats. And so, oh, I didn't know they were even numbered. I'm like, come on, you're on the site. You have to like pick the seats to do it. And I was not a jerk. I wasn't a jerk about it, but I'm like, I purposely got on here early so I could I like in the center up high just a little bit. And so I was being the picky guy and was actually one of the seats I purchased.
I saw an empty theater with my daughter. So
yeah, there you go. That's even better.
Yeah.
I want to say hey to Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us. She's, hey, everyone. Hope you're fantastic this evening. I'll watch
Lauren.
the whole thing tomorrow. I appreciate
Thank
that. Definitely throw a like.
See, there's no way I would have paid to see this. My daughter was like, you want to see this early? I was like, yeah, I got to watch it for the show. She could just come on over. And yeah.
I agree. That's the way to do it. We went to the bigger screen that has the better sound system, so it was a little pricier.
There's certain pins. I did like the music in it, and I like the fantasy stuff, and it just
I didn't like
don't
Hugh
know.
Grant. I didn't like him in this.
I did not like Hugh Grant as Oompa Loompa.
I agree
did
with
not
you.
care.
They should just use real little people.
Yeah,
Like the original. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably cost us all that CGI.
Exactly.
And who's that dude? So there's a comedian right now who's a little person. I think his name's Brad Johnson. He would have been perfect because he's snarky, he's sarcastic, he's super funny, and I think a little person should be in that role. I don't think it should be a regular person being shrunk down.
I agree.
Brad Williams. Thank you. That's the one.
Little people need work too.
Little people need jobs. Yeah, they have an elf costume, but they need regular jobs too. But
probably scary how much it costs to do the CGI stuff with Hugh Grant in that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, or Peter Dinklage. I think he's getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Age-wise.
And he's overused, I think.
Which is why Brad Williams came to mind, because I think Brad Williams is a comedian and he was supposed to be funny in the movie. I did like how snarky Hugh Grant was, but I didn't like his singing. Not that I liked anybody, I didn't like singing, but Timothy Chalamet did a good job with his voice. And my wife was like, "Oh my God, he can sing." And I go, "Yeah, he can do it."
Quickly becoming one of my favorite actors to watch.
Yeah.
I think this was good for him though, to kind of break out some of his other roles, like to show a different side of what he can do.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was great in that one, Bones and All. I liked him in that. He's good in Dune. He was reasonably good in this. And what else have we seen him in? I can't think of anything outside of those 4 roles.
Can't think of anything outside of that either.
Yeah. But he's good in those. And they're all not the same thing.
Lady Bird.
I haven't seen that.
I don't think I've seen that. Oh, he did Don't Look Up.
Well, I hated that movie. That movie was terrible.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Little Women. He was in Little Women. That was that remake.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to our highlights. Wonka coming in second place. Corey, your highest is Cast again with a 9, but you also have a 9 for the plot, 8s for ending, cinematography, music, and wild card, and then 7s for the others: acting, story, script, and direction. Rich, your 10 is in the cinematography, and then you gave 7s to cast, acting, and direction, and then a lone 6 for script. I gave 10s to the cast and the cinematography, gave a 9 to the story, 8 to the ending and wild card, 7s to acting, script, and direction, and then an unprecedented 6 for music. Because I was at a 3 for most of the movie for the music. And then I'd go up 1 and I'd go down 1 and I'd go up 1 and I'd go down. And I was like, and then when it came down to the end, I was like, especially at the end credits, when they're singing and doing all the stuff, I had to give an extra point for that because I like the credits when they rolled.
Yeah.
I could have played the role. I'm 5'4". Does that count? That might count.
Yeah, it might.
That might count. I hated when they shrank Ian McShane in Snow White and Huntsman. I agree with that.
I
was a little disappointed in that. And Jay, you are as tall as Napoleon. He's rumored. Yes, he was supposedly 5'5", I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I myself am 5'6", with my shoes on. So I count that. But let's go to our final scores. On Wonka taking second place, you guys. IMDb is giving this a 7.4. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 84%. Audience score 91%. Rich, you're at a 60. Corey and I are both at a 78 for an average score of 72.
I think that's the first time I had this is only my second time on here, but to have the exact same score as one of you.
Yeah, that's the first time one of us have matched you. So
that's interesting.
It's always kind of fun.
I was surprised when I was like, yeah, I got the same score as Corey did.
Did you have to add it up again and be like, wait a minute?
Wait a minute. That can't be right. No, I did.
What are the chances?
Like, how did I give it a 78? What did I do?
Well, honestly, out of 10 different categories, 1 through 10 on 10 different categories, that probably is pretty hard to get the exact same score when you aren't talking at all about this ahead of time, and
Yeah.
that's funny. But no, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
Even though getting thrown off by the musical thing. But Rich, you were saying no, you didn't care for it a whole lot.
So Chris is 6'4", so no, you don't qualify as an Oompa Loompa, dude. I do have a Napoleon complex, so there's that. Seems like a respectable score for Wonka. Yeah, I thought it was decent. You know, Rich brought us all down to earth with his score. I'm 6'4", my shoes
tall
on
guys,
6'5"
man.
and boots, but 6'2". Okay.
But it'll be one of those that probably be on Netflix or something before like too long. I bet you know what I mean. So you wouldn't have to wait too long to get it on one of your streaming
I bet
services.
you the 2 months it'll be on Max.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll show up on streaming pretty soon, like February.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got one more movie to do. Who else is saying there? Okay.
Everybody's
6'4"
talking about
half.
how much taller they are than I am.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about how tall they are. All right, so we've got one more movie to do. Let's look at a clip from our number one movie this week. And this was kind of a throw-in, so a big surprise for us. So check this out.
There are two things in the music business: before Thriller and after Thriller.
Thriller set the standard of what it was to be a megastar.
So yeah, Thriller 40, which is on Paramount Plus via Showtime. You guys, this was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This gave me
was
goosebumps.
Yep.
This was impressive. This was an impressive story. It pretty much just focuses on the Thriller album and what kind of came before that, which led Michael Jackson to want to do this album. But I mean, I know for me, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's got to be. I mean, it's definitely one of my top albums of all time.
Oh, it's.
I grew up on Michael Jackson. I love Off the Wall album.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad they mentioned it in the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This album. Oh man.
There's a lot of nostalgia.
It was the Off the Wall album that caused him to do Thriller this way.
Yeah.
Because he thought for sure he was a shoe-in for Grammys for Off the Wall, and he won for R&B artist, and he was so mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he should absolutely win for album of the year and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, I'm going to do an album that no one can deny. And it is still to this day the highest selling album of all time. Even streaming, it's the most downloaded. Billie Jean is the most downloaded song of all time.
It's almost the perfect song to me.
Well, and this is one of those albums. There's a few bands or artists that have these albums. It's a one single album, but it's almost like their greatest hits, and it's just one album that they have. I mean, you can go through that whole album, and I liked what Jeff said there. You either like Thriller or you're wrong.
Yeah, or you're wrong.
But man, I had so much nostalgia for
Van
that.
Halen said, yeah, well, he wasn't allowed to do it. He wasn't allowed to do anybody else's song. So they just he did it for free. They were like, hey, can you come in and just do this riff? He's like, well, what do you want me to do? He's just play anything. And then they just edited it in post. And but yeah, Eddie Van Halen did that guitar solo in Beat It. And I loved you could tell that was him. I was like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Santana. That's not just Johnny.
Eddie.
He's a distinct sound.
Yeah.
So absolutely, I really enjoyed this. It's not my favorite documentary. I would have liked more about Michael, and of course it talks about Michael with this golden spotlight on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't a perfect person. He made his mistakes. But at the time when he was doing Thriller and stuff, he was virtually a god in the music industry.
Yeah, you'll never see that again. You will never.
No, I mean, it's really for me, it's between Thriller and the Metallica Black Album. Those are my two favorite albums of all time. And I think for the same reason, they were so dedicated to it. So many hits came off the record. With Michael Jackson's Thriller, there were 7 number 1 hits off of that album.
And I
It was just
remember,
amazing.
I remember the weekend that it was the weekend when they released that Thriller video on MTV. I grew up out in the country. We didn't have cable, but my cousin did. They lived in town, and I remember going in, and it was such a big deal that we waited around for them. They were like constantly playing it when they released that. I remember sitting watching that and was like,
I'm sorry,
like,
guys.
it was-
I'll be back in just a second. You guys go ahead and talk.
But
oh, sure.
I remember watching this with my cousin Salvador. I mean, he's a little bit older than me, and I was a kid, and I remember that Thriller video scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, damn.
Well, it was like cool music, but it was a horror short film too.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that was something I think that blew everybody away is nobody had ever put that much money and, like, I don't know. I mean, to have the power that they had behind filming that and all the,
Yeah.
I mean, it was unprecedented, and maybe even today, you know, they don't go quite that far, but
And see, there's a thing in that I didn't know anything about was about them not wanting to play Michael Jackson because he's black.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
either.
know anything about that. And I was like, what? It's still hard to fathom, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, you know.
I just always remember like him, anything he touched sold. He
Yeah.
sold a lot, you know. And
Mhm.
so it is interesting when you go back and watch documentaries like this, you get some of that. Like I had no idea about that, and maybe the public didn't know. You know, it's kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But what's that?
Did you see the little bubble pop up?
Yeah.
It's an Apple thing. I don't know why it does that.
Oh, I saw a thumbs down. I was like,
yeah, I know that was.
did I say something wrong?
I think it's my hand movement or something.
Oh, but no, just the money and the power that they put, and it truly is, like they said in the documentary, it's a short film. It's just not just the Thriller. It's not just a music video. That's a short film, and that was a staple at Halloween watching that. But I remember being
Still is.
scared, but like excited because we liked the song too. But
Yeah, I agree, Jay. It was sad. He never got to tour that album. It was
yeah,
the Jackson 5. Yeah.
yeah,
No, his father was like, no, you got to do this
Yeah.
as
And the whole
as a
Pepsi
group.
commercial thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
don't
remember
like
that
Pepsi.
with the hair and
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. He was like, no.
I'll do it for my family.
yeah, I remember that being a big deal in the news.
Thriller, I mean, I think still the greatest music video ever.
And I still think "The Girl Is Mine" is an underrated hit off that record. I
Oh, yeah.
love that song.
I remember always seeing Thriller on VH1 through all the 90s. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I noted that David Bowie ripped Mark
Yeah.
Goodman. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember
But-
Michael Jackson. Ever since that album, every Michael Jackson video was a big deal. Like from then you had Bad, and then
Black and
what
white.
yeah, Black and White. Just all his music video releases were big deals. It was
Yeah, they had
Yeah,
the big
remember
premiere
Brian?
on MTV.
Yeah.
These epic things after Thriller, and it was, he didn't need it.
Yeah.
Was Black and White? Sorry, not to sidetrack, but was Black and White the one he had Macaulay Culkin in?
Yeah.
Or yeah,
He was doing the morphing of the
Yeah,
face
yeah.
at the end.
yeah.
Yeah. Whether you like this man or not, you cannot take away his artistic ability.
Yeah.
He's a perfectionist. I don't know if you guys have seen This Is It. I absolutely love that Blu-ray.
I have not.
It goes in detail. He's performing. He wants. I mean, I couldn't tell the difference between the beats that he wanted, but he knew what he was hearing, and he wanted it a certain way. And man, he's missed.
He definitely sold some albums, that's for sure.
Mhm. I remember dancing to Thrill. I remember my grandma. We used to live across the street from a cemetery. I remember getting yelled at numerous times, taking my boombox and dancing in the cemetery. I was like, "You don't have to be dancing on those people's graves." And she'd yell at me because I was reenacting the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Oh, she'd get so mad at me.
I remember we'd put like the one white glove on and tried to imitate the moonwalk all the time and
Oh,
did
yeah.
it just horribly. But I remember like we'd, it'd be like your mom's garden glove or something, but you put the one glove
Yeah.
on and then you'd sit there and be like, how does he do that? And
it was unheard of. And the reaction in the crowd when he did it.
Well, and they said that in the documentary too, and I think I remember that too, where they were like, "There's got to be a trick floor to that," or like when you saw it for like right at that moment, you're like, it's like that can't be real. Something else has to be doing that. But it was just his movement with it. It was so fluid. It was. Yeah, I remember trying to imitate it.
I think every kid did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it interesting too about the Pepsi commercial, about how he had no desire, and hopefully this isn't like spoilers of it, but like he had no desire of doing that, and the clauses that he put in to being in that, where he said hopefully this is okay to say, but it's like he said he could not be on screen for more than 3 seconds, and he was never going to hold a Pepsi can in his hand.
Right.
That commercial. And I was like, that's crazy. Just little things like that I found interesting.
And I liked the demos too that they played.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
I loved when they cut away all the rest of the music and just hit the master track of his voice only.
Yes.
So there was like some of those songs where all you heard was his voice only from the master track of it. And it was cool. It was a cool twist of some of those familiar songs that you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was fantastic. I absolutely love this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as good as Still, because it's still my favorite documentary of the year.
Still is my favorite documentary of the year. Absolutely.
I've not seen that. I'm gonna write that down too.
That's the one. It is really good.
Yeah. You all right, man?
Who, me? Yeah. No, I just threw up a little bit. That's okay.
Oh.
The migraine. Me.
I'm sorry.
So let's go to our highlights on Thriller 40. You guys, this is, like I said, it's on Paramount Plus through Showtime. So if you have Showtime, you can get it. If you have Paramount Plus with Showtime, you can watch it. Yeah. Corey, we are getting a little feedback. Yeah, I was getting a little feedback from you, Corey, but I think
I'm hitting mute a lot, and I'll still hear it even when I have mute on.
Yeah. No, I think it's StreamYard. Once we get to a certain point, StreamYard just starts giving us this reverb. And
you sure it's not the train?
It might be the train. But let's go to our highlights on Thriller 40. So Corey, you got a 10 for the cast, 9 for the plot, 9 for the music, and then 8 for ending, story, and wild card. Rich, you have 10s for everything except 10s for everything except for acting and script, which are 8s, and cinematography is a 5. And then I have 10s for cast and music, and I have 9s for ending, story, and wild card, and then some 7s and 6s thrown in there. But this, was that a train? That was a train.
It's a train.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, Jay.
He had great vocal range. Thank you. Yeah. No. Yeah. Pun intended. I'm guessing. My favorite MJ song is "Man in the Mirror." I think much of his obsession with kids was a desire for himself to be forever young. Truly hope the accusations are not true. He seemed like such a gentle soul.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of. That's not for us to judge. We are not here. Yeah, we are not to ask why. We are here to review the movie, and let's go to our final scores on Thriller 40. Coming in first place, you guys. This is definitely recommended. IMDb is giving this an 8.0. Rotten Tomato did not have a critic score. There are only 2 critics reviews, but the audience score was a 93. Rich, you gave it a 91. I gave it an 82. Corey gave it a 76 for a total average score of 83.
Corey, you ruined my score. I'm teasing. I'm so teasing.
I always ruin things.
But yeah, no, this is definitely worth a watch, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it still is my favorite documentary of the year. And almost so much that I want to include a documentary award for the Lowdown Awards so that I know it gets nominated. because I don't know if I would nominate it over the other movies that we have.
I don't think I would.
Yeah. But if we had a documentary category or a foreign movie category, I would definitely. There's some movies that I would definitely like to see pushed into the light a little bit.
So the last time I was on here with you, we had the musical documentary of Milli Vanilli, and then now with the Thriller one. So I've enjoyed actually both of those. There was a lot of nostalgia coming back with both of them. So I enjoyed them.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So you guys, thank you so much for watching the show. So that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
Rich, what have we got going on next week?
Next week, we got the DCU's last movie for the old regime. I can't even say that word. We got Aquaman, Lost Kingdom. We got Maestro on Netflix. We got Rebel Moon Part 1 on Netflix. We got Gringo Stole Christmas on video on demand. Yeah, my bad. And then Family Plan on Apple TV+.
And make me watch that tonight.
Yeah, my daughter texted me. She watched it. She was like, "Dad, what the hell is this?"
Thank you, Miss Caveman.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, Corey, dude, thanks for sticking with us again.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Great having you back. We know you are always welcome anytime.
Yeah.
You see our schedule. You want to come back for another one? We'll have you on. Anytime you want to come back.
Yep. Oh yeah. Hey, I was gonna say you're gonna regret saying that because then the next thing you know, you're gonna get a message.
All of a sudden, I'll be like, "What are you doing in my fridge?"
Yeah, right. Yeah. Buy your own beer. Get out of here.
Yeah, please, what's the matter with you?
No, I had blast. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, please come back, man.
Yeah, I will.
As
long as you have me.
So much for segueing that for me. Before I go, I want to say that this live stream is sponsored by Spotify for Podcasting. They take the audio portion of this podcast and put it out on their live stream service for Spotify. They also set us up on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Castbox, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. They do it for free. They sponsor us. And once we get more followers, they will give us more sponsors. So you guys, if you haven't already done it, please give us a follow on Spotify, and then you can listen to us on any of your favorite podcast channels. There, got that out of the way. Yeah, where we got? Okay, so yeah, that's a must watch. Great stream always.
Thank you, guys.
On the channel.
And make sure you guys go to Corey's channel and subscribe, do that for everything for him.
Yep. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that, brother. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. You guys, by the time we're gonna see you next week for our last show, Corey with the NPR voice. Today on Basis Radio.
I keep on saying I'm gonna make up some fake NPR like news announcement that I'm gonna do just for Miss Caveman. I'll do it for funsies sometime on a stream.
Yeah, that would be cool. I do a similar thing for Spirits with Spirits where I do a history video of the haunted location that we're doing, and I change my voice, and it's really, kind of my daughter calls it soothing and creepy.
I was going to say, I'll have to come up with something like, this week in New Hampshire, we'll be going to the Great Pumpkin Patch or something. I don't know, something stupid, but
that's awesome. All right. So you guys, but next week when we come back, it will be after the holiday. So we want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holiday if you want to observe
Be
Christmas.
safe.
Yes.
Be safe. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time on the Faces for Radio podcast. Bye, everybody.
God bless.